Welcome to Chat with Loki Season 2. Let's continue these stories of grit, resilience, faith, and wisdom from the unseen, unheard, everyday heroes of life. These stories are for you. Thank you for being part of Season 1. Your support has been incredible. We have now crossed 50,000 subscribers, and I'm grateful for each one of you. I hope you enjoy this journey.
But I compared myself to these people, and throughout this year, it was then I realized that the path is different. And I didn't make that realization then, but I knew this path was not for me. Not for me. So that was 2012 was a big year in terms of Mum, Scarlett, and then young Matthew. These things happened where I realized this is not my journey. This is not my journey, which kind of takes us to 2018. So I left again. I quit Citibank in August of 2014. I left on the 20th of January, 2015. I started on the 21st. So I did 10 years. I think it was 10 years in one day. I think I left on the 20th. Started on the 20th, left on the 20th, which is 10 years in one day.
Yeah.
I left Citi 10 years in one day into my career. But I decided to leave in August. And so then ADHD, I'd given up on Citi. And then I'm all in to try and find another job. Literally all in. Hot tip for each of you listening. If you go for a coffee catch up with a potential employer, that is an interview.
Yeah.
It's not a coffee. That's
It's
a job.
not.
It's a job interview, right?
Yes,
and I spoke about that the other day on LinkedIn. So I went for a coffee with a guy called Mark Stewart, who was my boss for a while. Get a job at Westpac. I'm at Westpac. I still know leadership's not for me. I'm running a team of risk managers in credit risk. We're looking after a portfolio. I'm doing heaps of great work. I'm getting responsibility. But March 2018, I go to a leadership training day. Right? I paid myself. The facilitator's name's a guy called Andy Fell. I'm good mates with Andy. He was my coach for a few years. In fact, Andy's down in Sydney because he took one of his daughters to the soccer last night, to the football. And so Andy says to me at afternoon tea, and here's these little messages. We spoke about Ann Edwards. We spoke about, John Akaka, just messenger. Andy comes up to me at afternoon tea at this training course, right? Mid-March, I think it's the 26th of March, 2018. And he's like, mate, what are you doing in risk? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm happy to wake up every day. It's a privilege to have a job. I get to live in spreadsheets and mathematics, but I know this is not my path. I know. We're 6 years on from 2018. I've got a new job at Westpac, but I just know this is not my path. How I became an MC. That's the first bit. The second bit.
So 2018, you got a new job.
2015, I moved to Westpac. So 2014, I'd given up.
Then you moved to Westpac, and
2015, and then
now we're in 2018. Yeah.
So we're now in 2018, right? So I've quit Citi in 2014. I mean, I stayed there until I left in January. I started at Westpac in January 15.
Yeah.
Now it's March 2018, right? 3 years later.
Yeah.
Again, love my job, but I know it's not for me.
Yeah.
Now, by this stage, I'm hosting a few charity events, right? And I've discovered this. This is like the highlight of my life, but it still doesn't make sense at the moment. The dots, I can't see the map that's been laid out for Luke Hannan. The Adjustment Bureau, the pages they open in the Adjustment Bureau. I can't see that path yet, right? I can't see it. Thursday, the 10th of May, 2018. I will always remember this night. Cerebral Palsy Alliance, we're doing a charity gig. When you're the person in risk management that likes public speaking, you are it. Because everyone else hates it. And not it as in a hero, but you're the only person that presents because they all hate it, right? I know you're in risk and you like it, but we're outliers.
Yes. There is one statistics. Even worse than death, people said public speaking is the one thing.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest fear of humanity is public speaking. And then I think death or something comes later.
This is going to sound weird, right? I'm no longer afraid of death either. I'm not. I've lived an amazing life. It makes me sad to think about my kids in their little suits at my funeral, and I'm not going to do anything stupid. What I'm saying is, as we spoke about before, I think it's a journey. I'm not the movie Sausage Party. I'm not waiting for the great beyond.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't take your kids to see it, by the way. It's an adults movie. But I'm confident that this chapter is going to be amazing. Whatever happens next, que sera, sera. So Thursday, the 10th of May, 2018, I'm hosting a charity gig. I'm on stage. As clear as I'm speaking to you now, the thought comes into my head, this is it. This is it. And if you want to hear what that sounds like, look at 2021 Formula One Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So it's the deciding match. It's the deciding race. Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, they've been fighting all year. Lewis is caught up to Max. They go into this final race on the same amount of points. Whoever wins the race is going to be world champion, right?
Yeah.
Lewis is in first. There's a safety car. Nicholas Latifi, God love him, crashes his Williams with like 6 laps to go. Max pits because he's second. Lewis is first. The Mercedes has dominated the past 3 or 4 races of the season. Toto Wolff, the Austrian, it's their spicy engine, he calls it. Lewis is unstoppable. He can't be beaten, right? He's going for his 8th world championship. Mercedes have won everything since the new regulations in 2014, and Max is finally challenging. It's the last year of the regulations. It's the last round. They're going on even points. There is 5 laps to go in the season, right? It is all down to this. Max pits for fresh tyres. Lewis doesn't. Now, in motor racing, fresh rubber is everything. It makes such a difference because if you think about a car, it's connected to the ground by rubber, and if new rubber, better than old rubber. Lewis has got old tyres. Max has got new tyres.
They changed that in some 3 or 5 seconds or something.
Less
isn't
than
it?
2 seconds, right? In and out.
Is that 2 seconds?
It's so quick. It's choreography.
Oh my gosh.
It's unbelievable.
Have you watched that movie, F1?
I have.
Is it good?
Okay. I'll tell you why it's good.
It's in my list. Okay. I think I saved as favorites to watch, and I'm trying to find some time to watch.
Brad Pitt's great. The storyline's great.
Yeah.
As an F1, the racing's not real, but they took that car and that team to races for real. So they actually set up a garage. A1GP had a garage at the British Grand Prix, had a stand and everything, had the car there. So they shot it at real races.
Really?
Yeah, 100%, right? So they didn't race the car during the races.
But shot at real.
Yeah. So when you see the footage of pit lane and the drivers' parade,
they're all real.
That's at a real race.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're not acting like clearly Brad Pitt is and his co-actor, but they're there. Their car's there. Their garage. They had a garage at the British Grand Prix and I think 1 or 2 other races. So it's a good race. It's a good movie. I watched it when I was in Japan actually. It was good and it wasn't. Let me finish this
please.
Is It story.
Yeah.
So listen to GP, who's Max's engineer's radio.
Mm-hmm.
Max pits for tyres, right? They're under safety car.
Yeah.
Lewis isn't sure the race is going to get underway. So because 5 laps to go, they might just finish under yellow. Lewis is first. He wins the world championship. Then Michael Massey, the Australian race director, made a few decisions which were questionable, but I'll be honest, Max was the better driver all year. Lewis deserved to win that race. Max deserved to win the championship. Anyway, GP says to Max when Michael Massey gets the race restarted with 1 lap to go, he says in his ears, this is it. This is it. That's all he says to Max. So, and that's as accurate as I can for the viewers. Listen to it. You can probably put a link to the Formula One video. It's a Formula One video, so it's not ripped. It's not pirate. It's theirs. You can hear him say, this is it. This is it. That was the thought that came into my head on that stage on that day. On Thursday, the 10th of May, 2018, I hear this is it. Now, this is clearly 3 years before the Formula One race.
You say that's more like your inner voice.
That's my inner voice.
Inner
saying
voice
to me,
just said,
dude, this is it.
You looked around, you're like, okay.
I'm on stage.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, I was a professional MC. Not I'm becoming, not I'm going to become. It's the ADHD thing. I am now a professional MC. So that weekend, I register a business name. I start a website. I start networking with all the people I've volunteered for.
Okay. You need to slow down here for me a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So you had your first MC opportunity or charity.
I'd been hosting for years.
Okay, so let's take that as the moment of transition.
But that's the moment of transition where I realized this is my ikigai.
So from that ikigai moment, how long it took you, website, all the things you just mentioned.
Yeah. That was a Thursday.
Okay.
I started build ADHD, right? Like I've just been given a target.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters now.
Yeah.
So ADHD, you spoke about that. It's like putting a set of blinkers on.
Yeah.
Like, the horses have blinkers so they can't see anything.
Yes.
So if everyone listening, right, if you cup your hands around the side of your eyes and then narrow your
No
vision.
distractions.
There is no distractions. The problem is everything you can't see, your friends, family, you ignore. So my poor wife gets left in the periphery because Luke's going to follow his dreams and ditch a 6-figure banking career to become a professional MC and follow his dreams, right?
Yeah. How did she take that?
We'll circle back to that. I think she's become aware that I'm going to make... The other thing, I didn't quit banking straight away. I'm a risk guy, right? I'm not just going to go and quit my career. I had 3 kids and a mortgage by this stage, right?
Yeah.
A couple of mortgages. So I'm now a professional MC.
Okay.
Like there's no doubt about it. This is who I am. It's now my identity.
Okay.
You know, so
You're still in full time?
Still full-time job.
Okay.
Now, my first ever gig, it's now June 2018, so we're next month. I've started to build a website. I'm starting to market, you know, and we'll talk about cold calling in a minute. We're in 2018, it's June. My wife's doing the MS Mega Swim. So she's at Olympic Park, home of the 2000 Olympics. Pardon me, a 24-hour swim to raise money for multiple sclerosis, right?
Yeah.
It's now called MS Plus for MS. I'm there with her supporting. There's a microphone on the table. No one's on it. My wife's swimming. Instinct, intuition, the person driving my adjustment bureau is like, hey, mate, go and ask them if they need someone on the mic. Self-doubt is like, don't do it. Instinct is like, go and ask. Self-doubt is like, don't do it.
That's beautiful.
You will come across points in your life where everything you ever wanted, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, where everything you ever wanted is right in front of you.
Yeah.
You just need the courage.
I totally agree.
To go and do it.
Yes.
To go and do it. So instinct, go and do it. So I walk up to them and say, Luke Hannan's my name. I'm a professional MC. Mate, I've never been paid to host an event in my life.
Yeah.
But I've adopted this. I'm now a professional MC. Would you like someone to talk on the mic? They said, Luke, we would love you to. So I pick up the mic, right? I'm on the mic, hearing the sound of my voice booming over the PA and where the Olympics were.
What was that feeling?
Unbelievable, right? I'm interviewing swimmers. My wife sees me on the mic. I've got an MS shirt by this stage because I can look the part. I work for them for 3 hours, right? Just doing all these different interviews. There's a Westpac team there. So I'm talking about banking and finance and the Royal Commission because BT was there and stuff. You know, and unbelievable, right? And so I still work with MS to this day professionally. They are my longest client, right? I hosted the MS Gong Ride, Sydney to Gong Ride that year in 2018.
Yeah.
So that was my first event, the MS Gong Ride. Because after that, they gave me a testimonial. I've got video footage. I've now got stuff on my website now.
So basically, that one is more your intuition.
Mate,
rather than someone approaching you.
100%.
Wow.
People are not going to, you said the Lord is going to challenge you in life.
Yeah.
He is not going to hand it to you on a platter.
No.
You are going to have to make decisions that are
You need to take the step.
Pip Marlowe, I had the privilege of interviewing her on stage at a massive conference for CPA I did last year. And so did Holly Ransom, who's a goddess. If you want to see a good interviewer, check out Holly Ransom. She is a superstar and I learned so much from Holly. And so both Holly and I, Pip, have a chat to Pip. Pip says comfort and growth.
Yeah.
Comfort and growth never happen together.
No.
Never. So positive frame of mind, when you are uncomfortable in life, when the Lord is challenging you, whatever you believe in, when you are struggling uphill, just know there's a greater purpose which you probably can't see right now.
Yes.
And again, what your hopes and dreams, everything you ever wanted in life will likely be presented to you, but you will need the courage to go and ask for it. So I'm hosting this event. MS then locks me in for the Gong Ride. Now take a step back. Monday, the 14th of May. That weekend I built a website, registered a business name and start. What does an MC do? What's their service proposition? So I Google the first 6 MCs. I make 6 phone calls.
No, so back then it's all Google.
I Google them, right? I Google, conference MC. And then I call them all. How much do they charge? What do they say? What questions do they ask? I don't know any of this, right?
Oh,
so
you called
other MCs to find out what do they say on the phone. So when clients call me, what am I? Because I've got no idea. It's okay in life to know that you don't have a clue. Being aware of your ignorance is beautiful, right?
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah.
It's okay not to know, but take the step
to know.
And that's beautiful.
It's all here in your world. world is Facebook, Instagram, a world of distractions. I'm looking down the barrel of the camera because this is a message for you. I'm now in MC mode. The world is in your pocket.
Yeah.
But it is also a world of distractions. There is nothing you cannot learn from this device. And let's bring it back into the podcast now.
Yeah.
So I use that to learn. And then I did research because I'm ADHD. I have no idea, but I'm now a professional MC and I need to become the best professional MC that has ever lived. And that doesn't mean I'm going to disrespect everyone else and I think I'm better than them. Far from it, quite the opposite. I'm going to embrace, I'm going to network with people. I'm going to find mentors and I'm going to grow because I know that I don't know. And I
You have
need
your
to
own
know.
standards
Yeah.
of becoming the best without comparison. What you said before.
Exactly.
Comparison is the thief of joy. I'm not going there, but I have my own standards. Once I reach there, I'm going to lift again. I'm going to lift again. There's no ending.
There is no finish line.
Yes.
There's a photo of me in the gym, which I've posted the occasional photo of me ripped in the gym.
I want to talk about gym as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's.
It says, and I write there's three things written on my mirror in the gym. The first one is there's no finish line.
Yeah.
Because there is no finish line. The last event I host will be my funeral. Guaranteed. If I'm fortunate enough to have an illness and know when I'm going to die, I'm going to pre-record it and that's going to be the last event. Because I'd have it no other way, right? And I'm going to surprise everyone and now the secret's out, right? but anyway, so there's no finish line is the first one.
Yeah.
The second one on the other side, so this side is there's no finish line. On that side, it says it doesn't get easier, you're getting stronger. Because let's think about the notion of weightlifting, right? When I started squatting, I could squat 10 kilo plates on either side of the bar. Plus the bar, that's 40 kilograms.
Yeah.
I can now squat 100, 120, right? When I was younger, 120, now 100. My back's a bit dodgy, right? Because I'm older. That bar didn't get lighter.
No.
I got stronger.
Yeah.
And you can apply that to anything in life. It doesn't get easier. No. You're developing, you're growing, you're getting stronger. And in the middle on the mirror, it says the key to success is doing your very best when things are at their very worst. David Goggins said that in his book, Can't Hurt Me. Highly recommend it. It's a brutal read.
Oh, that's
but it's really
I haven't read the book, but
Mate,
there's a lot of quotes from the book.
it's
It comes
brutal.
up. Yeah.
And he's right. The key to success is being at your very best when things are at their worst. Because that's the magic. That's the magic. And so why they help me, I'm at the gym, I'm looking at that. I've got a new PB, I'm feeling good about myself. There's no finish line.
Yeah.
I'm on stage, I nail an event. I'm very self-critical. I do really well. There is no finish line.
Do you get like a dopamine hit or something?
Hosting events for me
Yeah.
is like Christmas morning every single time.
Wow.
Even now, 624 events before I take the stage,
Yeah.
it feels like Christmas morning. Now, for those listening who love Christmas, what's the other side to that coin? Christmas night, where there's a bit of disappointment, right? Because it's over. So in my younger career, I used to get really disappointed. I'd go on these highs
Yeah.
and then hit these lows. Now I'm fortunate to work so much. Like I'll go back to back. I'll be like, oh, the event's over. That's all right. I'll be on stage next week.
Yeah.
So I can't do too many events now because my preparation is very intense. Like the average
Yeah, that's your uniqueness as well.
Oh, the prep work is, my run sheet for a conference will be 100 pages long. That's bespoke for that event. Once the event's done, that's
Do you still have that big,
black folder?
Yeah.
Still got it.
Still got it?
Still got it, 100%, mate. That thing's been through war and peace, right?
Yeah.
But I've still got it because here's something for people as well. Keep things consistent and easy. And what I mean by that is the font in my run sheet and the layer and the format has not changed in 624 events. It's still the same font. Now, mind you, it's slightly bigger now. I've gone from 16 point font size to 17 point. Hot tip, if you're ever going to speak on stage with notes, 17 point font size, 1.5 line spacing. Because if you've got a page that looks like a Mills and Boon novel or a novel, when you look up to engage your audience and look back down, you don't know where you are.
Yeah.
So have big font and it's spaced out. And I still use paper because we can have a chat like I've been doing here and I can take notes.
Yeah.
But I'm not typing on an iPad. I'm writing down. So I always use paper. My font size. Now, my run sheet has evolved.
Yeah.
It's got more information. It's got different sort of information. I never used to have comparison is the thief of joy. The second thing I write at the top, which I didn't tell the listeners, is I'm above no one. I'm above no one. Because it's easy to fall into, I'm extremely confident. I have the skills and confidence to know that as an MC, I can get in and out of any situation.
Yeah.
I'll be okay. But I'm always growing. The magic is staying grounded.
Yeah.
Because speaking frankly, there was an event I did last year where I'm very good to people and I'm always nice. But I went into that event thinking that I was better than some of the other.
It just happened.
It's just
natural,
yeah,
subconsciously or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so as well as I spoke to everyone,
Yeah.
it may have come out in my language that I was talking down to someone. And that was not my intent, because that's not who I am as a person.
Yeah.
But the thought that and I heard John Cena say this, and looking back in hindsight, I may have gone into that event thinking I'm better. And that's a bad way to be. And so I write that now to check myself, to ground myself. I'm acutely aware that as an MC, I'm so privileged.
When did you realize that? After?
Yeah, after the event, I thought
It was self-reflection, or
a few things happened.
Yeah.
Love language, words of affirmation, right?
Yeah.
The feedback I got from particular people wasn't what I thought it would be.
Oh, okay.
I smashed that event. Like I was extraordinary.
Yeah.
You know, the people in the room are coming up, you're the best MC we've ever had. We've never seen anything like this. But my client, something was up and they didn't say anything to me.
Right.
And so again, the performance was perfect. The crowd loved it.
Yeah.
But again, getting back, remember, I got fired from every job I had, right?
Yeah,
Because when I was younger, I was young, maybe a bit arrogant and a bit stupid. And I firmly believe that at that point, a tiny bit of that, looking back in hindsight, had crept in.
Yeah.
And as heartwarming and as charitable and as open as I am with my language to people, if you are subconsciously coming from a place where you think you are better than someone, it is probably going to creep out in the manner that you speak to them. So I know I didn't use arrogant, wrong, harsh words, but maybe it was the timing. Maybe it was
the energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a team on the night that made significant errors. Significant errors. And I did what I could as an MC to fix that. And I acted in the best interest of the event, because that's why I go there, as I mentioned. When I'm hosting an event, it's my primary objective to make it the best event in terms of value, time, effort, and energy for the audience who's bestowed a portion of their life on me. However, the person that kept making the mistakes, and I briefed this person beforehand as to exactly what I needed and how we needed it to go, because this is why. But in hindsight, being completely honest and relatively vulnerable, right, to the crowd out there, it probably came from a place of I thought I was better than that person and we are better than no one. And so looking back in hindsight, that was a really important learning for me. And now it's just a reminder, hey mate, you are not better than anyone. You know what I mean?
So that's your second point. You're not.
Comparison is the root of all evil, and I'm better than no one. And some people might listen to that and go, well, I don't want this person hosting my event. That's fine. But I'd hope that most people would say, you know what, here's a guy who's been on a bit of a journey and knows where he's at and has made those mistakes, who's faced the challenges that God or whatever's given to me. I was made to make that mistake. That was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we all learn
100%, right?
humility in our own way. But if we don't observe and learn, then these things lose its significance.
100%.
And the Japanese bamboo quote, the taller the bamboo grows, the more flexible it is, the lower it can bend to the ground. So the more we grow, the more humble we need to be. And that's a significant step about success. Success is not about showing I'm better than anyone. It's actually telling ourselves that I'm here for a reason. I am going to improve myself every single day, week, or month, but I'm going to stay grounded to the earth. And in that groundedness, I'm going to do whatever I can to help others.
Yeah.
Giving. And it's grounded for me is nothing but giving.
Grounded is nothing but giving. And see, I give the best of myself. Let's talk about this event in particular. I gave the best of myself to that event.
Yeah.
The problem was I took it from the perspective of where I was at and not bringing them with me.
Yeah.
And I didn't dictate. I wasn't rude. I was very honest.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't, but it was about bringing them on the journey more. For example, some of the feedback I gave I didn't need to do it at that time. It probably could have waited. But on the other hand, if I didn't give them that feedback at that time, the decisions they were making or not making were impacting the audience's quality of the event.
Yeah.
So I look back in hindsight and think, would I do anything different? I would probably have a different mindset, and I might wait to give that feedback.
Yeah.
But I think I would still take the same action, just in a different way, because, and here's the thing in life, right? You need to stay true. I firmly believe you need to stay true to the person that you are.
Yes.
So 2018, I'm a professional MC. I'm now marketing. I'm trying to find my identity as an MC.
Yes.
You will learn in business that you are not for everyone.
No.
You know, and I don't mean just, you know, people call me up and say, hey, we want a comedian to host our event. I'm not a comedian. I'm not, right? I crack jokes, as we've had a few, but it's never in the script. But it's also comforting to know that the person I am and the value I add to an event, and my clients love me. Most of my clients I have been with me from the start. And it's very rare that I'll lose a client because I become part of the family.
Yes.
The research, as you've said, and as we've spoken about, is significant and thorough and comprehensive. So most people think I work for the company I'm hosting for at the end of an event. How long have you worked at this company? It's like, I don't actually work for them, but I've just done the pre-work so that whether it's mining, construction, sport, whatever it is, finance, I'm in, because that's the ADHD, right? Like I'm going to be the best I can be at that point in time.
So we'll just go back to that stage where you called all these MCs and all those things, and then you did your own research, rates, services, and what happened after?
Yeah. This is a funny story. So I started cold calling. Yeah. And the first person I called, a guy called Mark Roberts, who runs a company called Max Adventure, they do trail runs, said yes. Do you guys need an MC? Yes, we do. I was like, how easy is this? Everyone said no since, right? That's not true. But he said yes. He said yes. And so I worked. So that was my first paid gig. So MS was my first agreed gig because obviously I spoke for free. MS was the first gig at the Mega Swim. That's June. I start cold calling. MS agrees to lock me in for November to get paid then. But the first paid gig I did was a run I hosted in July at Rafferty's Resort, Lake Macquarie. Same year, 2018.
Okay.
So it's a few months after. And here's one other thing. When you have a vision, when you have your ikigai, your purpose, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I'm now a professional MC. That's not weddings. Yeah. That's not weddings. By this stage, I've been in banking for 17 years. I was on an executive leadership program at Citi. I presented to APRA, ASIC, our regulators, to CEOs, to boards, and I had an MBA by this stage. You don't need all of that to go and host a wedding. Yeah. Because a wedding MC can be an entertainer from a boat. Yeah. But that entertainer from a boat can't jump on stage with a regulator and have a chat about a prudential standard as easy as I can. So I was acutely aware of what I wanted to do. And the lesson for the audience is this. You will have a vision. You will have a dream. Other people are going to try and steal that from you. Other people may not buy into it. Other people will have their own version of the dream for you. Why don't you do weddings, Luke? You'd be a great auctioneer. You'd be all of these things. I would. But I'm laser beam focused on this. And I'm not saying ignore the advice. Yeah. But what I am saying is stay true to who you are as a person and stay true to what your dreams are and just follow them. It's okay to be flexible along the way. Yeah. But at least give it a red hot go first. There will be naysayers. Some of the people closest to me said, don't leave full-time work. And we'll talk about it.
Thank you for listening to Chat with Loki. Do not forget to follow and subscribe. You can explore my 3 books, The True Self, The Power of Faith, Before Birth and After Death, available ebooks and audiobooks on Amazon and Google Play. See you in next episode.